Hey guys, Coach Justin from Ultimate Baseball Training, and in today's video, I wanted to talk to you about how to develop confidence in baseball. I get a lot of players who email me and they say they really struggle to have confidence in real game situations. They say that they do just fine in practice and they have faith in themselves, but as soon as they step in between the lines on game day in a real game situation, it's like all that confidence just melts away. So if that sounds familiar, or if you're just looking to develop more confidence to take your game up a notch, then this is the video for you. I'm gonna give you some actionable tips that you can apply right now today to improve your confidence and ultimately play better on the field and have more fun. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So before we get into how to develop confidence, you first have to understand where confidence comes from, right? I always love to use the example of a new video game just came out and you want to play it with your friends, but first you obviously have to go buy it, right? Well, would you just go to a random gas station or a random fast food restaurant and ask them, hey, do you have this video game? Obviously not. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Because you know that they don't have it. But the very first part of finding that video game is figuring out how to get it. Who's selling that video game? Where can you go and purchase it? And it's the same with confidence. Before we just talk about developing it, we have to understand where it comes from. But unfortunately, it's not like a video game in the sense that it can't be bought or sold, and a coach can't give you confidence, your mom or dad can't give you confidence, a teammate can't get you confidence. You have to earn confidence. So where does confidence come from? It comes from proper preparation. And there's a difference between just preparing and properly preparing, right? Same as if you were to take a test. Let's say you got a math test on Friday on chapter 16, right? And you study all week long. You put in 10 hours of study time, but you study chapters 14 and 15. You prepared, right? You're very well prepared to take a math test, but you didn't prepare properly. You're not prepared to take a test on chapter 16, right? So you can, prepare and be well prepared, but that's not the key to confidence. The key to confidence is preparing in the right way. Now let's talk about hard work in relation to confidence. And I think that I'm a firm believer in outworking your opponents, and just putting in that hard work is what's gonna help you develop real, true, unstoppable confidence. And hard work, the grind, grind doesn't stop, that's thrown around very, very frequently these days. Everyone talks about how there is no off season, they're grinding so hard. But my suggestion to you is look yourself in the mirror, and the only one that can really answer this question is you. Are you really working hard? But the value of hard work is undeniable, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. So let's take a player who does the exact bare minimum, right? They show up to practice 5 minutes early, they go through practice, and then they leave right away on time. Okay, so that's the average player, but you're not an average player. Let's say you show up early, you're there a half hour early, you stay a half hour or an hour late, and you do this on a consistent basis. All of a sudden, something very, very powerful happens with your self-belief. All of a sudden, you start believing, hey, I'm literally working harder than all of my teammates. I'm showing up earlier, I'm staying later, I'm doing twice the amount of work at the end of the day, twice the amount of swings, I'm playing long toss. You literally start to realize and see, hey, I am working so much harder. And then you take that to the next level and you take it to the weight room, and you take it even beyond just the baseball field. You take it into the classroom and you're working harder in every single area. And all of a sudden you're thinking, man, again, that self-belief kicks in and you're thinking, there's no way one of my opponents at the rival school is working this hard. There's no way that they're showing up this early, staying this late, getting this much better in this amount of time. So that's a great way to develop real confidence. That's the first thing. Number one, confidence comes from hard work. Hard work is undeniable, the value of it. And I know it's a term that gets thrown around very, very frequently, but unfortunately, a lot of players are looking for a magic pill when it comes to confidence. And I'm telling you, hard work, putting in the time in the cage, putting in the time playing long toss and doing the band exercises and all of that, following a specific program to get you results. I promise you, you're going to start seeing yourself, you're outworking your opponents, and soon you're going to believe, hey, I'm outworking them. I literally deserve better results than them. So the first thing is reality check time. Make sure that you are truly working as hard as you can. Now, there are a few ways to build confidence aside from just working hard, okay? And we're gonna get into those right now. The very first key, track your results. Now, I know this can be a little bit challenging, but I'm going to explain exactly what I'm talking about in terms of tracking your results. This is something that I wish that I did more, but we're going to talk a little bit about how this builds irrefutable evidence, and we'll discuss exactly what that means in just a second. So track your results. Too many players just go to the field, they get a bucket of baseballs, and they just start hacking away. And they're not really keeping track of the progress that they're making or the lack of progress that they're making, right? So my challenge to you is decide on a number, decide on your denominator of the equation. So let's say, hey, I've got, a half hour, I'm going to take 100 swings. I'm going to hit 100 baseballs. The easiest way to do this, if you have 100 baseballs, you can make 10 piles of 10. That'd be great. If you don't have 100 baseballs, let's say you have 10 baseballs, you can just, hit those 10 and then go pick them up and keep track of your results on a piece of paper or a notepad. But the way this is going to work, the very first time you go out and you hit, this can be off the tee, batting practice, you can do this for every area of your game. You're going to keep track of your total results. So again, we're taking 100 swings, and let's say I'm consistently able to square up. Let's say I squared up that first session 50 baseballs, right? So I didn't roll over, I didn't hit a weak fly ball. I squared up 50 baseballs and hit them really, really hard. Great. That's your baseline, okay? So we're going to have this baseline here. That's your very first time out, all right? From there, let's say that's on Monday. Then you maybe do something else on Tuesday. Wednesday, you want to do the same thing again. You get the same 100 baseballs, and this time you're trying to beat that 50, okay? So let's say this time, remember 50 is our baseline. Let's say this time you bump up to 60. And then the next time you bump up to 70. And then all of a sudden you jump up to 85 out of 100. You are literally building irrefutable evidence that you are improving your skills. What I mean by that, irrefutable means that it cannot be denied. Nobody can take that away from you. You are seeing yourself literally progress. You're seeing yourself improve in a certain area. Nobody can take that away. Not a coach, not a teammate, not mom or dad, not somebody, making a negative comment. Nobody can take that away. That's irrefutable evidence, and that's what we are after. So tracking your results is the only way to get there. So you can do this off the tee. You can do it in batting practice. Let's say you're indoors or you're in a batting cage. You can see how many times you can hit the ball off the top of the back net, right? A screaming line drive. You can see how many times you can do that. As an infielder, you can take ground balls and say, I'm going to take 100 ground balls and see how many times I can field the ball cleanly and make good throws. You can be in the outfield even, and you can say, I'm going to have a coach hit me ground balls, and I'm going to throw to, let's say, from center field or right field to third base, and I'm seeing how many times I can hit him with an accurate throw, either long hop or no hop. We don't want to short hop them and handcuff them, right? But tracking your results is going to build that irrefutable evidence, and it's definitely going to give you more confidence when you step up in a real game. You literally see yourself improving. The next tip I have for you in building confidence is make your drills as game-like as possible. So there's a way to make every single drill out there a little bit more game-like. And the problem is, the reason why you need to focus on this so much is I see so many players sit there and just take hack after hack after hack off the tee, and then they get into a real game and they don't have any confidence. And gee, maybe it's because you, number one, were looking down at the baseball the entire time. You never once acted like there was a pitcher on the mound and then shifted your focus to the hitting zone. So that's the first thing. But maybe you're not having results at the plate because all you focused on was hitting a stationary object. And in a real game, you're going to see different arm slots, different arm angles, and you're going to see different speeds and different spins, different pitches, whatever. So it's important to gamify, make your drills as game-like as possible. And there's different ways you can gamify every single drill that you do on the field. So let's take basic tee work for an example. Instead of just sitting here and staring at the contact point, imagine that there's a pitcher on the mound. So turn your face and imagine there's a pitcher on the mound, and actually go through your load and your stride and then shift your focus. And then after every swing, maybe step out of the batter's box and look down at the imaginary third base coach and get his sign, okay? And then practice, doing your routine, stepping back in, maybe tapping the plate, maybe taking a deep breath before you take that next swing, but take some time in between swings. Don't just sit there and hack, 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 hack. That's not what you do in a real game. So make sure that you're trying to find a way to gamify your drills. It's really going to help you improve. The last tip I have for you on how to build confidence is add pressure in any way that you can into your training. Because when you step on the field in a real game, immediately you're going to feel more pressure than there was at practice, right? Maybe mom and dad are in the stands watching you. Maybe your girlfriend's sitting alongside them, right? So you got a bunch of eyeballs on you. You got a bunch of screaming fans from the opponent, right? The rival. Their fans are in the stands hooting and hollering and rooting against you maybe. You know, maybe you're going to have an at-bat in a prime time clutch situation where it's a do or die situation and you have to come up big for your team. So if we don't practice that, if we don't practice the pressure situations, then how do we expect to perform in those same situations in a real game? So in order to have confidence in those situations, you need to put some pressure on yourself in practice. Again, get creative with this. There's so many different things you can do, but if you're just by yourself, we'll take hitting off the tee again. You know, out of every 10 swings, maybe break it down. Okay, I'm gonna have 100 swings today, 10 sets of 10. And out of those first 10 swings, if you don't square up 6 baseballs, or pick your number, 5, 6, 7, whatever, 8, 9, pick your number. If you don't square up 6 baseballs and hit them hard, or you can even do different situations. If I don't hit, you know, I'm going to do inside pitch, middle pitch, away pitch, and then go backwards. And if I don't consistently square X amount up, then I need to, some sort of consequence has to happen, right? I need to do 10 push-ups. I need to do a sprint from home to first or whatever. But build in some sort of competition and build in some pressure, because that's going to help you in those real game situations step up to the plate and say, hey, you know what? I can handle this. I've done something similar in practice. My training has prepared me for this. So it all comes down to outworking your opponents, but doing it the proper way with these tips that I've recommended for you, because you're going to put pressure on yourself. And when a real game comes around, you're going to have the confidence because you prepared in the right manner. You're going to be able to get the job done. You're going to have more success on the field and have more fun. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I have a Bat Speed Boosters free workout that I want to share with you. All you have to do to grab this free bat speed workout, just click on that very first link below this video in the description. That'll take you to a page. I'm just going to need your email address, and then I'll grant you access to the Bat Speed Boosters workout. So go ahead and click that link and do that now. Go pick up your free Bat Speed Boosters workout. And as always, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're coming out with new baseball videos every single week. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up, and last thing, get in the comments section and let me know what you'd like to see in future videos on the channel. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.